News. ABC7 Eyewitness News at 7 starts streaming now.
Thank you for joining us, everybody, on this 7 o'clock hour. I'm Cheryl Burton.
I'm Ravi Baishwal. We are keeping a very close eye for you on the storm that is moving right through our area. Strong winds. Take a look here. Right across the area, they've been causing blowing snow, low visibility. That's a huge problem throughout the area.
Incredible video there. Another problem, slick roads. We've seen several problems on the interstates. Cars are spinning out in this weather.
And take a look at this time-lapse video here from Chicago. That tells you the story. The visibility just simply gets worse as the time goes on, and that continues to be a problem as darkness has arrived now.
And tonight we have teams across the area reporting on conditions in the city, the suburbs, and in northwest Indiana, which is expected to see even more snow.
Let's start, though, with meteorologist Larry Mowry with the AccuWeather alert tonight. Larry, it is as promised.
Yeah, and you know, the big story here is the quick drop in temperatures we experienced this afternoon. At 11 o'clock this morning, it was 33 degrees. Now it's 2 degrees at O'Hare and Midway. We're 5 below already in DeKalb and 3 below in St. Charles, and we're sitting at 5 in Gary. There's still some snow falling. This is kind of the last gasp of moderate snow here across the city. It's not terribly heavy, but still some snow coming down and just flurries out to the west. In northwest Indiana, the snow continues, and what will eventually happen is lake effect will kick in for parts of Porter and LaPorte counties, and that could produce some higher snowfall totals as we go into the night tonight and during the day tomorrow. But from the city to the west, we're beginning to dry things out, and by the time we get to midnight, the falling snow will be over, but we'll have blowing snow to contend with throughout the night and during the day tomorrow. The heaviest band of snow now moving through Fort Wayne up into parts of Michigan. But look at these temperatures. Again, it's 5 below in DeKalb, 2 at Midway, 4 at the lakefront, 5 right now in Gary, and 0 in Peatone. Our wind chills already to 30 below in Aurora and over towards Pontiac and DeKalb. It feels like 32 below zero. So winter storm warnings continue all the way until Saturday morning. Even though we're not going to experience any falling snow in the winter storm warning area, it's the blowing snow which will still reduce visibility and cause problems on the roadways. And then we've got blizzard warnings in place for Porter, LaPorte, and Berrien counties. That's also in effect until Saturday morning. So the snow's tapering off over the next couple of hours, but the lake effect will continue for northern Porter County and LaPorte County. That's where the snow totals will be much higher. Tomorrow morning, we'll wake up with temperatures anywhere from 5 to 10 degrees below zero, and it stays brutally cold tomorrow with highs barely getting above zero. So just a cold, raw day tomorrow with gusts to 50 miles per hour during the day tomorrow. We'll talk more about the wind and this extreme cold, how long it lasts, coming up.
All right, dangerous numbers out there. Larry, thank you for that update tonight. We are also watching the impact of the snow and the cold.
Eric Hong live in Chicago tonight with the conditions across the city. Eric?
Yeah, Ravi and Cheryl, we're in Hyde Park right now, and just within the past hour, the wind has really kicked up, and coupled with that dramatic temperature drop, it's really gotten brutal out here. The snow is that fine, dry variety, the type that really stings your face, and so it helps to have goggles if you have them. Driving around the city right now, we do not advise it. We took the Kennedy to the Dan Ryan to Lakeshore Drive to get here to Hyde Park, and lanes were indiscernible. Getting around on foot, also no picnic.
Today downtown, resembling a snow globe. Beautiful, but harsh.
You need a mask on or a scarf because it's kind of hard to breathe walking toward the wind, and you got to walk with your head down.
Ronnie Reynolds among many on the Mag Mile doing last-minute Christmas shopping in a snowstorm.
Yeah.
You regret waiting to now?
I do, and I'm usually good about shopping, weeks in advance, but I've been traveling for work, so here I am.
Oh my gosh, it is so blistery and cold and windy, and you can barely see anything. The visibility is awful.
For those unlucky enough to be in the office today, that trip over the bridge to Union Station, simply brutal.
A little treacherous. They haven't gotten to salting it yet, but I made it through.
Building engineer Ken Pacer will be here tomorrow as well.
What's your message to all the folks who are working remotely tomorrow?
Enjoy.
And
that's it.
This evening, Chicago Streets and Sanitation has some 300 salt trucks out in force.
We caught the break earlier with the temperatures. Now we're slowly seeing them, actually rapidly seeing them go down along with the wind.
3 days before Christmas, the city, postcard perfect. But warm feelings, at least outside, hard to come by.
At least we'll have a white Christmas.
Yeah, a very white Christmas.
Yes, absolutely.
Back live in Hyde Park, and I want to show you something. In these conditions, it doesn't matter how much washer fluid you've got. or how much heat you're pumping in the truck right now. This is our satellite truck. There's no way you're going to keep these windshield wipers free of ice. We've been coming out here every few minutes just to clear that ice, and this truck is parked on the street. Imagine if you're driving on the expressway right now trying to keep those windshield wipers ice free. We do not advise you get on the road. It simply is not safe right now. We're live in Hyde Park. Eric Hong, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
You can see people behind him too trying to get rid of the snow. The snow plows are out. Eric, you and Derek out there, just give us a little perspective. What's it been like? That's your office. You talked about people having to go to work today. Your office is out there everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, we're out here covering the news, trying to keep people safe and keep people informed. But, we've got folks out here in Hyde Park working as well. I talked to one young man who is working today. This is a big shopping district right now in Hyde Park. He was completely layered up. We're talking about multiple socks, insulated boots, thermal underwear, he was saying, heated pants, I think he was wearing as well. He was wearing goggles. You've got these folks out here doing yeoman's work as well, clearing the sidewalk, just trying to keep things safe for pedestrians. And so, we're out here, but we're certainly not the only ones out here. And, this is just the beginning of what's going to be probably a day or two of dig out.
Right. Yeah. Coming out with the incredibly cold temperatures that are just going to make it that much more difficult. Eric, get warm. Thanks so much. Really appreciate your report tonight.
Thank you.
Let's talk a little bit about aviation now. Hundreds of flights canceled today at both of Chicago's airports.
Kate Kogarin live tonight at O'Hare. And Kate, this is such a busy time for travel. How's it going where you are?
Well, right now, Cheryl and Ravi, thankfully it is a bit calmer for air travelers here at O'Hare versus how it was just a few hours ago. However, if you or your loved ones plan on flying tomorrow, you want to get ready because already we are hearing about hundreds of flights in Chicago that have been proactively canceled, and that number could rise. Today, nearly 1 in 4 of all departing and arriving planes were canceled at O'Hare on what was supposed to be the busiest holiday or travel day this holiday weekend. Flight tracking site data showing Denver and Chicago as cities with the hardest impact from this winter weather storm. Today, air travelers scrambled to make alternative plans after more than 250 flights were canceled at Midway, and out at O'Hare, more than 550 flights.
I thought we'd save time by flying closer to home, and now our flight has been canceled twice, home to Iowa. Fortunately, we have my daughter here to stay with, but we're waiting for her to come back for us the second time.
Nationwide, more than 2,000 flights were canceled today, and already we've heard more than 2,000 flights have already been canceled for Friday. That's according to FlightAware, and that number could increase. Tomorrow, the issue for air travelers will be those strong winds, that bitterly cold temperature that's coming our way, and that will bring icy conditions to both runways and planes. Now, a reminder for air travelers tomorrow, we've already been speaking about this. Some airlines have offered a weather waiver, which allows travelers to change their flights or flight plans for free if you have flexible air travel plans, which again might be difficult given the fact that we are just a few days away from Christmas. Reporting live at O'Hare, Kate Kogarin, ABC7 Eyewitness News. Back to you.
All right, busy O'Hare. Thanks so much, Kate. Appreciate it, and hope those folks all travel safely. You stay warm. Let's turn now to more news. One person in the hospital here. Take a look. This after a driver goes off the road and into a pond. That's out in Des Plaines. Police saying that 2 people were in that car. Only one was hurt, and they are expected to survive. Police say there were no signs that alcohol or drugs were involved. And many people also trying to hit the roads ahead of the holiday. As we heard, we caught up with one driver at a gas station in Skokie. She's hoping to get to Oak Lawn tomorrow.
I've been in Chicago for so long that it's like, I think we'll get through it, hopefully, hope the car doesn't die. That's why we're going to fill her up with gas right now.
And AAA says that if you do, in fact, hit the roads, make sure you have your emergency kit. Take a look here. A cell phone, a charger, jumper cables, pack some water, some snacks, and a blanket, of course, just in case you get stuck. So important. I would add to that as well, a candle.
I was going to say boots. My mom always says have candles blankets and boots.
Yeah. Blankets and boots, wool socks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's a really good list right there.
Trust the Canadians.
Does your car have all of that in there, Ravi?
Not the jumper cables.
Okay, yeah, I've always kept those in there too. Yeah.
Don't need jumper cables.
You just don't know. You know, you got to call for help, and then you might have your own. You know. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's say that across the suburbs, though, we have been seeing all kinds of really tough driving conditions all day today.
Yeah, coming in today for both of us, of course, snow and wind making it hard to see on the roads. Where John Garcia reports tonight from Aurora, where city leaders are urging people to stay home today if you can.
By day, this is the transportation center for the city of Aurora, but it is a huge space and it is warm, of course. So with the extreme cold that's moved in, the city of Aurora is taking it over tonight as a warming center, a shelter from the extreme winter cold. Before noon, salt truck drivers had already made several passes down most of the main roads in the city of Aurora. They're trying to get ahead of the winter storm and make sure it's safe for drivers despite the snow, high winds, and bitter cold expected as the day goes on.
The colder we get, the less effective our salt gets, to the point where salt's probably going to be almost non-effective when we get to our coldest temperatures that are coming in the next day or so.
For those not working to clear it, however, the snow can be festive. It brings a bit more of a holiday feeling to Aurora's Chris Kindle Market, even if it is bone-chilling cold. Despite the weather, though, there are patrons here.
It's Mother Nature, right? So what can you do about it? It's still a great place.
The winter storm, however, is bringing the market to a premature close this afternoon. It will remain closed tomorrow and Christmas Eve.
We want to be open every day we can be, but with the storm, we understand.
Aurora City officials are urging those who have no reason to leave home during the storm to stay inside. They're asking residents to look in on their neighbors, especially seniors, and make sure furnaces and water heaters are venting properly to avoid the risk of carbon monoxide poisoning.
Not just about removing snow, which is very important, but about making sure people are safe, people are warm, and people are protected in our community.
Meantime, drivers are filling their trucks with salt, heading out on a 12-hour shift today. The second shift will come in tonight. Then these same drivers will be back at it again first thing tomorrow morning.
The more we get done now and the more we get it ready, the safer it is for all the vehicles that are driving on the roads until they get home for the holidays.
The city is offering this warming center from 7 o'clock tonight till 7 o'clock tomorrow morning through the weekend or as it's needed. In Aurora, John Garcia, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
And as John mentioned, the Chris Kendall Market closing early because of the snow. Hey, Santa! The CTA canceling the final runs of the season for the holiday bus because of the weather conditions. And many city attractions are also closing for the holiday early because of this treacherous weather. The Chicago Botanic Garden will be closed tomorrow through Sunday. And several museums also announcing plans to close. We have put together an expansive list for you at ABC7Chicago.com. Now, remember, the storm is impacting several cities.
That's very much. It's a national story, and President Biden getting a briefing on all of it today, urging folks to listen to local warnings.
My team is prepared to help communities weather this, no pun intended, this storm.
President adding that he is sending his employees home early so they can hit the road for their holiday weekend plans. In Northwest Indiana tonight, people are being warned of life-threatening conditions. A blizzard warning was issued there, and Evelyn Holmes reporting from Portage, Indiana tonight.
Well, temperatures are continuing to drop and winds are continuing to pick up. Right now, roads continue to be snow-packed as this storm shows no signs of slowing down. The trio of snow, gusting winds, and bitter cold temperatures descended on northwest Indiana for what could turn out to be blizzard-like conditions as the area sees its first major winter storm of the season.
What's different about this storm is it's the first one this year, and the first snow is usually the craziest one.
Scott Deere is among those in Portage, Indiana, getting ready to brave the storm by gassing up and stocking up at this gas cove.
Salt, they really stack up on like milk, water, cases of water.
A blizzard warning has been issued for Porter and LaPorte counties in northwest Indiana and Berrien County in Michigan, where the combination of nonstop snowfall and strong winds promise to create dangerous travel conditions.
You know what it is? It's common sense. When it starts getting bad, then you just go home and say, I'm done. If it starts getting bad, then I'll stay home.
This evening, as expected, weather conditions continue to deteriorate, with temperatures sinking into the single digits. prompting Indiana state officials to ask people to stay home and off the roads if possible. Officials warning people not to play with this storm. It is very serious and potentially very dangerous, reason why they've activated roughly 150 Indiana National Guardsmen to help out with motorists who may be stranded on roadways. Reporting from Portage, Indiana, Evelyn Holmes, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
All right, Evelyn, thanks so much. Well, ComEd has assembled a large response team for all of this weather. 1,800 workers, including 300 from other parts of the country, all standing by to restore power as the storm progresses. Company saying it is most concerned, though, about wind gusts, which could be topping 50 miles per hour over the next 2 days.
About 30, 40 mile an hour, we would take a timeout and wait for the wind to lower a bit before we can safely restore power.
And ComEd says their priority is to restore power for critical facilities first, such as police and fire stations and hospitals. And then they'll be focusing on other customers.
And remember, a top concern in this weather is the bitter cold we'll see heading this weekend. Sarah Schulte is speaking with doctors about the top injuries they see.
Construction crews building a Westside hotel seal up the site to keep the snow and wind out. No matter how cold it gets, the job must get done and the crews must keep working.
If you're doing this stuff long enough, you'll figure out a way to keep warm, all the way down to plastic bags and socks in your boots. So I guess it's experience that'll teach you how to stay warm in this kind of weather.
But emergency room doctors say most people don't have experience with extreme cold. Rush University Medical Center's Dr. Jerome Martin says wet, cold feet lead to some of the most common injuries.
They can get some foot infections or just a lot of pain and discoloration to their feet.
With temperatures plummeting quickly, the Rush Emergency Room is bracing for a busy weekend. Besides car accidents and falls on ice, frostbite sends many people to the ER.
If your extremities are exposed and it's below zero, it can really happen within 5 minutes.
Dr. Martin says the first signs of frostbite are numbness and tingling. If your skin becomes pale or white, a trip to the ER is a good idea.
If it gets bad, you'll end up with some blistering. One of the more important things about the blisters, though, is don't pop them.
Dr. Martin says popping the blisters can cause infections. And while warming up, Martin suggests running your hands or feet under cool water and do not rub them together. ERs are also expecting hypothermia cases. Symptoms include shivering, confusion, and exhaustion. And the emergency room staff here at Rush is extremely worried about hypothermia and the homeless population. All doctors and nurses have been instructed before discharging someone to call 311 and make sure they get into a warming shelter. At Rush, Sarah Schulte, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
All right, Sarah, thank you for that. Now, remember, you can always track the winter storm where you are using live Doppler 7 Max radar. Just download the free ABC7 Chicago News app from the App Store or Google Play.
All right, we've been talking about these cold temperatures, but of course, that's just going to add to this problem. High heating bills this winter, the amount that people are having to pay this season.
And the founder of FTX is back here in the United States, and he's already out on bond. Let's go back outside, everybody, on this Thursday. Look at that. 1 degree. And that's just the degree. I'm sure it feels a lot colder. You're looking live at the conditions here. Havoc on the holidays that we're checking out. The city looks pretty though. You know, you can see the snow, kind of like a winter wonderland. We were talking about that, but
Who was saying snow globe? Yeah.
Yeah, but
Eric Hong said that. That was a nice line.
yeah, it could be though. You can't see all the buildings at the tops though. It could be some are calling it the storm that might be the Grinch that stole Christmas.
Yeah, go ahead. You know what you can see there?
Yeah.
Look at the steam coming off the lake.
Ooh, thank you, Larry.
Water temperatures are in the upper 30s, right around low 40s too.
As
and
Greg
with that
is
Arctic
getting a
air coming
close-up.
over the water, you just see
look
the
at
steam.
that. Yeah,
So how much of a
close-up.
temperature difference is that?
Oh, wow,
you think?
Greg, great
Well,
job.
the water temperature is like 38 degrees right
Ooh.
now, so
Wow.
Okay.
37 degrees.
Considerable.
Yeah, so it's a big difference.
And then the 1 degree there. So what's the wind chill, shall we ask, Larry?
Yeah, it's like
Are we
20
gonna-
below in some
We're
places.
gonna talk about what about the storm stretching across the. We're not alone in this, right? We are not. Let's take a look around the country a little bit. The storm is going across, as the president was saying. Stay home, be careful. Take a look at the snow falling here, and as well, it is in the Dallas-Fort Worth Airport area as well today, which Larry knows all about. The airport in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, they had to close because of blizzard conditions.
And now let's go to Tennessee, everybody, where people are rushing out today to finish their last-minute holiday shopping before the cold weather hits there. It's nice to see they've just got on, jackets and, not gloves or anything, but in a minute it's going to be cold there and cold everywhere. So let's check back in with our meteorologist here to find out how he is tracking the conditions close to home. Larry, everybody made it home, made it safe, coming in, going out.
And that's important to check because people still were out and about this afternoon for at least a good portion of the afternoon with the snow coming down and temperatures just plunging quickly during the afternoon hours. It was 33 degrees at 11 o'clock this morning. As we were talking about, it's 1 right now at O'Hare. We didn't pick up a lot of snow, anywhere from 1 inch to 2.5 inches of snow are some of the early reports I've gotten, but it's really tough to measure this snow too because it's blowing around all over the place and you get these little mini drifts and waves in the snow across the horizon. So here's what we can expect now through midnight. The falling snow is tapering off and will end after midnight. 1 to 4 inch totals, but again, tough to measure from the snow that fell. Overnight tonight, temperatures drop below 0. We're almost there already with gusts to 45 miles per hour, bringing wind chills from 25 to 35 degrees below 0. That's what it'll feel like overnight tonight and during the morning tomorrow. And then for tomorrow, temperatures stay right around 0 all through the day, with gusts getting even higher to 50 miles per hour. That'll put wind chills 20 to 30 below, even during the afternoon hours tomorrow. So here's live Doppler 7 Max radar. You can still see a little band of snow right over Cook County, over the city right now, but tapering off to the west. It's 6 below right now in DeKalb. That's the temperature. 5 in Gary, 7 in Valparaiso. Kankakee down to 0. You can see how the snow is just lingering over top of us. We might get a few more hours of some light flurries and some light snow, but again, the accumulating snow is over for much of the area. The exception being parts of northwest Indiana where lake effect will kick in later tonight and continue through the day tomorrow. But back to the west, we're drying out. Skies are trying to clear out too back to the west, but we'll stay mostly cloudy through the night tonight. There you can see the storm marching off to the east with snow now moving into parts of Ohio and real heavy snow picking up across Michigan. Here are the current temperatures. It's 4 below in LaSalle, Pontiac's at 3 below, Aurora, you're down to 3 below. Low single digits here around the city. Lincoln Park at 2. Over towards Little Village, it's 1. Oak Park at 2. Wrigley Field right now at 3. 1 in Grays Lake, 2 below in Crystal Lake, 2 below in Huntley and Algonquin. Out in the western suburbs, Westmont's at 2. Glen Ellen at 1. West Chicago down to 0. Elburn, you're at -3. 1 below in Frankfort, 1 right now in Joliet, and 4 in Hebron, 12 in Michigan City. So just brutally cold temperatures. When you factor in the gusty winds we have, wind chills are already 20 to 30 below in some spots. We've been running the little cycler on the side of the screen throughout the newscast where you can see just how cold those wind chills are in many locations. Look at the gusts, now up to 43 miles per hour in Aurora, so these winds get stronger as we go through the night. The falling snow is tapering off, but the snow that fell is being blown around. So visibility is still impacted by the blowing snow. We continue with the winter storm warnings until 6 a.m. Blizzard warning for Porter and LaPorte counties. That's where the snow will continue tonight and tomorrow with lake effect. 7 inches to a foot of snow across parts of this area. The rest of us ended up with about 1 to maybe 4 inches. So overnight tonight, the snow comes to an end. Here you can see it on Futurecast later this evening and tonight. But these temperatures turn brutally cold tonight into the day tomorrow. In fact, tomorrow temperatures really below zero through most of the morning, then low single digits in the afternoon tomorrow. And the winds get even stronger. Here you can see the plot of the winds during the midday hours tomorrow, gust above 50 miles per hour. So wind chills overnight tonight, 30 to 40 below. And then as we go through the day tomorrow, this is 3 p.m. on Friday. Wind chills still 20 to 25 below. And then on Saturday for the Bears game, wind chills 10 to 15 degrees below zero. That's what it's going to feel like at the Bears game. So this is a pretty extensive surge of colder air. There's the Arctic front, still 43 in Cincinnati, but 8 in Indianapolis. Look at Bismarck, 13 below, and it's 14 right now in Dallas. This cold air is marching to the east. So tonight, the falling snow ends, blowing snow continues. Very cold and very windy. Temperatures well below zero. 3 tomorrow, 10 on Saturday, 14 on Christmas Day. But we're going to flip the pattern around and we'll get warm again by next Thursday. We'll be back into the 40s and maybe even warmer Friday and next weekend for New Year's.
All right. Quick question for you, Larry. Yeah. You know Dallas, Fort Worth. You were there. You lived there. They went through so much trouble last time they hit these kinds of cold northern temperatures. People were really, really in trouble. How are they set up now? What kind of danger are they in?
Well, the power grid was the big issue the last time they had a really deep freeze. I think there's still some question marks with that. I know they had another deep freeze after the real mess they had with the power grid that first time, and they held up better. We'll see how they do this time. Supposedly, they took care of the things to keep the power grid back up and running and keep it going. We'll see if that pans out. But this cold is kind of similar to what they had a couple of years ago with the extreme cold and the power outages and whatnot. And I live there. I've been here in Chicago for about 7 years, but I was down in Dallas for 9 years before that. And when we had the Super Bowl in Dallas, there was about 5 to 7 inches of snow that fell. And no one went anywhere for a week. And there were rolling power outages just to keep up with the power demand. So, I mean, they get a little bit of snow. The whole place shuts down for days if it doesn't melt.
We can handle it here. We know
right. We got it.
I love living here because it's like snow. Oh, who cares? It's just snow.
We love you living here too, Larry.
I do too. I love it here.
Good stuff,
Can't believe it's 7 years already for Larry.
I know.
Wow.
That actually, there's a news flash.
Time
All right.
is fast.
We'll be back with more with our man from Texas, Larry. All right. Midwest. I'm sorry.
I just
yes. Right.
And speaking of all those cold temperatures, here's news that's going to be kind of tough to hear for a lot of folks. Everyone, really. Temperatures are plunging, of course.
Yeah, and home heating costs, well, they're going up. The National Energy Assistance Directors Association says that the average cost of keeping a house warm this winter will be $1,200. That is up 17% over last year. Natural gas prices have surged, but electricity prices are also up.
So tough for folks on tight budgets, fixed incomes.
I know. It's always, it just keeps the inflation. It just keeps a domino effect,
For your utilities to stay warm. Stay warm out there. All right, how about this? Back to masks. The leaders in Chicago urging folks to take COVID precautions once again. The problems that the city is seeing right now. For the third time in a week, a Chicago police officer has died by suicide. A spokesperson confirming the male officer was 51 years old and lived in the 8th District on the southwest side. Mayor Lightfoot says that death should serve as a wake-up call for everyone.
And it's important for us to make sure that when we know someone is having struggles, that we don't ignore it, that we reach out, that we offer our own assistance, and just to be a listening ear. Sometimes these conversations are difficult, but they're ones that are absolutely necessary and could be life-saving.
So if you or someone you know is struggling, call the National Suicide Hotline anytime. Dial 988. There it is. Superintendent David Brown releasing a statement today calling for expanded and more robust support systems specifically for officers.
FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried is out on bond. Video showing him leaving a Manhattan federal court after his parents signed a $250 million personal recognizance bond. He's wearing an electronic monitoring bracelet. Bankman-Fried is accused of swindling investors and looting customer deposits on FTX.
Today, the House Select Committee investigating the January 6th insurrection at the U.S. Capitol, releasing transcripts of interviews with a key witness. Cassidy Hutchinson was a White House aide, and she detailed intense pressure she faced as Trump allies watched her testimony over the summer. The committee is releasing these transcripts the same week that the committee voted to refer former President Trump, his lawyer, and others to the Justice Department for possible criminal prosecution.
Well, the U.S. Senate passing a $1.7 trillion bill to continue funding the government through September. The bill now heads to the House. The House is expected to vote tomorrow to prevent a partial government shutdown set to start at midnight. The bill includes money to support Ukraine and funding for communities recovering from natural disasters.
And Chicago could soon issue a mask advisory once more if the city reaches a high COVID level. And that would mean that everyone ages 2 and older would be asked to wear a mask at indoor public settings. Chicago's top doctor is saying that people don't have to wait for a formal advisory. She said she thinks of her mask like an umbrella.
I don't carry it all the time if I don't think there's going to be a huge rainstorm coming, but I have it ready. And I put it on when I'm on the L, or I put it on if I'm in a crowded setting, or I'm worried the person sitting next to me might have a disease that I don't want.
And Dr. Arwood, he said that she expects to see a COVID surge after the holidays, and that is why she thinks the city will move into the high-risk category.
Well, people across Chicago out today buying a lot of equipment they will need during this winter storm. And the threat is far from over. Larry, of course, is tracking conditions. We have that story coming up next.
And as the bitter cold arrives for us, there's an effort to make sure that everyone has a coat to keep them warm. Welcome back, everyone. Okay, so if you ever sat at the anchor desk with Cheryl, as I am so fortunate to do,
right back
and
at
you turn left, that's what you see. Right out the door, right out the window, the beautiful Chicago Theater and all the nice folks who walk by. And tonight, Cheryl, a fine, more than fine dusting of snow that's sticking around right now.
Yeah, a lot of people have been passing by. We see a pizza delivery man, not sure if he's coming here to ABC7 to deliver some pizza there.
Is he coming into the studio?
We had pizza tonight. Well, maybe more pizza's coming. So, hey there. He's got to walk in, and we have, you know, if you can look across the street, this is our marquee at the Chicago Theater. There is snow that has accumulated on the ground, and in a few minutes you will see people removing that snow. But it's been nice to see families walking by and children kind of skipping in the snow. People are trying to find the best part of it. It's the holiday season, even though it's 1 degree.
Yeah, Larry, the folks are dealing with these intense temperatures that we're seeing. We can look and see the fine snow actually coming down, and it's still there, and it's been, as you promised, it's been constant.
Yeah, and you know, there's more people out than I thought there would be.
Yeah, I know.
Being this cold outside.
Yeah, there's the pizza delivery man. I'm not sure.
He looks a bit like he's lost.
Someone go help him.
Yeah, somebody should help him.
He really, okay, this is really happening, folks. This isn't
really
fake.
happening. We had pizza tonight.
Where are you
but we
looking?
can have some
Where
more
do you need
pizza.
to go?
We need to get an address for him to help. Might be the college next door, like to the south of us. They're college students that might be ordering pizza, of course. You saw Eric Hong had goggles on, and he was not going skiing, Larry.
Right.
But that's essential. You know, a lot of us keep a pack bag in our offices, and some of them have goggles, boots, you know, extra pair of hand warmers. We have everything in our offices because we are ready and prepared for this kind of weather. So
We've been in hazmat suits.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
We do. Yes, folks, we have a hazmat suit ready to go and those masks that go over in case we have to go into some
I don't know if you're supposed to
nasty
tell
situation.
anyone that, Robbie.
Uh-oh.
Yes, we are. We're going to go report the story where it is.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Hey, you know, what's interesting about those goggles that Eric had on is you kind of need them because the snow's just being blown around like standing on a beach with sand almost.
Yeah,
it's blowing
sharp.
sideways
It's
too.
sharp.
It's not
face.
coming down this way. It's blowing on an angle. When it's blowing on an angle, you know it's serious, and it's really nice to have that. It's helpful. And he interviewed a couple of people who said that it hurts their face.
Yeah.
So,
and you know, the falling snow is coming to an end, but the blowing snow is going to continue tonight and during the day tomorrow. And I just want to show you the scope of this storm too. Look how big this is on the map. And it doesn't look like it's spun up into a low pressure system yet. That'll happen overnight tonight. But the cold Arctic air is just surging down the plains all the way to the Gulf of Mexico. In fact, we've got temperatures well below zero out to the west and northwest of us. Des Moines at 10 below. Minneapolis at 11 below, and this is a true Arctic cold front. There it is, stretching right over Michigan, down now along the Indiana-Ohio border, just about ready to move into Nashville. Nashville's still at 48. They'll drop into the teens in a few hours. And then down to the south here, look at Houston. It's 29 degrees right now in Houston. Austin's at 20, Dallas at 14, and 19 in Shreveport. Still 48 in Jackson, Mississippi, but that'll drop quickly. And this colder air will continue to expand eastward as we go through the rest of the night tonight. We've got winter storm warnings, blizzard warnings, winter weather advisories just blanketing the Great Lakes. Blizzard warnings off the lakes here across parts of upstate New York and, of course, Michigan. We've got blizzard warnings. And our blizzard warning is for Porter County and LaPorte County and Berrien County as well. That's where the lake effect machine will get going later tonight and continue through the day tomorrow. The rest of the area under a winter storm warning all the way until 6 a.m. on Saturday, despite the fact that the snow is coming to an end. It's the blowing and drifting snow that'll be a concern for us. There are the air temperatures below zero in St. Charles now, 4 below, 6 below in DeKalb, still 2 at Midway, 3 at the lakefront, and there's still a little light snow coming down. This is still falling snow across the city, not heavy, and we won't really add any accumulation to what's out there, and it's tapering off to the west. But the overall back edge of the snowfall is right here off to our west, and we've got a very cold night ahead for us. Temperatures tonight dropping well below zero with the winds picking up, very high winds to 45 miles per hour, bringing wind chills overnight tonight, 25 to 35 below. And then tomorrow, that's it for temperatures. Lower single digits, even a few degrees below zero for high temperatures. So it stays brutally cold as we head into the weekend. We'll talk about when we get some warmer weather. which happens next week, thankfully, coming up.
Something
That just doesn't look right.
It does look odd.
It doesn't,
Is there a mistake?
Is that Celsius? Is that Celsius?
No, not a typo, not a mistake.
That would be Fahrenheit, Lear.
No, sorry.
Oh man. Okay. Well, we can stay hopeful. You know, maybe it'll help this weekend for the Bears. Maybe the Bills. I know it's a cold.
The Bills know how to play.
I know they do, but
cold.
maybe it'll help us though. I don't know.
Why
We got
do you think
anything.
Why?
Because we've lost 7 in a row.
Did you see where tickets for the game are like $7?
Oh my goodness.
There's an unnamed staff colleague of ours who has tickets on the 50-yard line, 3 of them, and he's not going.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he's insane about the Bears.
Oh, that's right. He is a Bills fan.
And he's a Bills fan,
right,
but he loves the Bears too.
I think the comfort of our home, Santa's going to be heading this way on Saturday. Maybe he'll drop some gifts over Soldier Field to win. I don't know. It's going to be cold.
That is like really, you're really digging for that. That one, that's
I mean, it's a family outing. Some people are going to be there. It's Christmas Eve.
Can I ask
it's tradition.
Yeah. Larry, can I ask you a quick question? Sure. I mean, is this with this intense low and it happens so quickly and the whole bomb cyclone and all that, is this an indication of where our winter is going? Because this is the first one.
No correlation to the rest of the winter really at all. In fact, if you look at next week and all the way through a few days after the new year, we're looking at well above average temperatures. So this is just a quick cold snap, and then we'll get 40s, maybe 50s by late next week and next weekend.
Ooh.
So, I mean, the pattern's going to flip real quickly here, and that's been the case the past several winters. We get our cold snaps, and then it gets back to mild, if not above average temperatures. And I think that's the way the rest of this winter will go, with probably more above average time than below average time.
Great. All right, sounds good. All right, Larry,
Thanks,
thank you. Remember, a top concern from this weather is the dangerously cold temperatures. Larry, of course, has been talking about it all night.
And they can get so scary, and that is why the city of Chicago is opening all its warming centers. And our Leah Hope reporting from one of those tonight.
The Chicago Park District will open all of its field houses as warming centers with regular hours tomorrow. We found Chicagoans throughout the area today preparing for the cold and the snow. In business 95 years, the staff at Hyman's Ace Hardware knows what customers need today: salt. Lots of salt.
I'm getting ready to pick up 50 pounds of salt. I have some salt already, but I'm going to sprinkle it in front of my house and make it easier for me to shovel.
I'm ready. I'm ready to shovel the snow, throw the salt out, everything I need to do.
The assistant manager tells us they just got in 10 skids of salt, and they started selling them immediately.
We've been nonstop this whole week. We've just been getting everybody since close to Monday, just coming in, just getting ready.
Chicagoans preparing to stay in town and stay put for a few days as the snow falls and temperatures dive. Some tell us they have been getting ready to stay home.
Just went to the grocery store so we don't have to come out for this week. And we'll be stuck in the house looking at the snow.
You like snow?
Yeah, I love it, especially for Christmas.
The Chicago Park District is also warning walkers and runners to stay away from the lakefront where there might be dangerous conditions. In particular, an area between Oak Street and Ohio Street is closed. Outside of the South Shore Cultural Center, Leah Hope, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
All right, Leah Hope in the elements for us tonight. An effort to help keep people warm this winter, making Chicago proud. Apostolic Faith Church in Bronzeville distributing coats to adults in the area, all part of a 4-day outreach here. And food was given away earlier this week. Tomorrow, more coats and toys from Santa going to be given to families in need.
Doing generous work there. Now, if you have to head out tomorrow morning, we'll be up early, bright and early. We'll let you know about road and weather conditions. Eyewitness News will start at 4 a.m. tomorrow.
They're getting ready. Still ahead for us here, we're hearing from the performers of a magical celebration, the Christmas parade at Disney parks.
That will warm you up. Every New Year's Eve, yeah, you know, Terrell and Cheryl, they are the big dance highlight. Okay, so on the other side of this break, you have to stay tuned because we are getting a sneak peek at this year's performance. You ready? You ready? Have people been sending in their videos?
Look at that.
We hope so. Go. That's how you bring the New Year's in. Yeah, and this year, Terrell said 60 dancers.
Is that right?
So get ready.
I remember
dancers.
when they did the filming, and I was just completely mesmerized watching
blown
that.
away.
Didn't know we were still talking about it.
Like, look at that. Hey, all right.
That's
Did you
us.
dance? Were you one of the 60 dancers?
No. I've done my dancing for this station.
Okay.
Us.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll be
Take a
right
short
back.
break. We don't need to talk.
Right. Well, the countdown to the Disney Parks magical Christmas Day Parade, it is on. It is happening Christmas morning on ABC.
And our very own Carl Schmidt visited Walt Disney World to catch up with many of the show's performers and the show's hosts.
The Disney Parks Magical Christmas Day Parade has become an annual tradition for so many families. Holiday traditions are so important to the show's hosts Derek and Julianne Huff.
Christmas Eve, we would always open one present, and we always knew what the present was.
Pajamas.
Pajamas.
Always pajamas.
And so,
really?
Yeah, so that way we put them on, we're all cozy, and then we get to wear like our gift in the morning, and that represents family to me, and that's what I want to do with my future family. So.
Also, my mom, she used to make these pillowcases.
Oh, yeah.
They were the Christmas pillowcases, and we would sleep on them, and we're supposed to dream about, you know, just dreams and happy things and what we want for Christmas. Yeah. So it was cool.
Marion Morris, who takes to the Cinderella Castle stage on Christmas morning, is looking forward to starting new traditions.
Now I feel like my son has experienced Christmas at Disney, and now this is the new tradition. We have to come back every year and do this.
Chloe Flower is excited to be part of this Disney tradition.
I think I'm most excited for the audiences to see a pianist, a musician that comes from a classical background doing, you know, really different things. You're going to see a couple different performances from me.
The party is happening coast to coast.
To be able to come back and host a parade, like what?
Yeah.
Vision board.
Insane. And this was my first time, so it was a completely new experience for me. We had a wonderful time. It felt so magical and amazing just to get to be out here with everyone and celebrate Christmas and the holidays.
The Disney Parks Magical Christmas Day Parade airs Christmas morning right here on ABC. In Walt Disney World, Carl Schmidt, ABC News.
Wow, that is quite the tradition.
Fantastic.
I know folks have done that
Yeah.
and been part of that.
You know, after you open all the gifts in the morning that Santa left behind, Santa take the cookies and then turn on ABC and leave it on all day long.
I have to remind folks, of course, Disney owns ABC7.
You're going to be there all day on Christmas Day.
I
too,
will. I will be your
reporting,
newscaster,
so
along
make
with.
sure you hang in there and join us on Christmas. He'll be there.
Come see me without a tie and Phil with his great Christmas outfit, whatever.
Yeah,
I'll leave it at
If you want
that.
to see some fantastic fun on Christmas Day after you've spent all day with your family, this guy right here is going to be hanging out.
We want it to just be nice and easy. All right, New Year's Eve, though.
Ooh, yeah.
New Year's Eve's just 9 days away.
And we are getting a sneak peek at this year's Chicago Countdown opening dance number. Take a look.
Hey Cheryl, hey Terrell, we're getting reports at the 911 center of strange activity over there. Please be careful.
So I put my glasses on because I wanted to look at that monitor up there to get the real sense of wow.
Remember A Night at the Museum? You remember that movie,
God,
right?
Yeah, my kids
but
went crazy about it.
This is A Night at the Field Museum. So it's going to be fantastic. Some award-winning performers are singing as well.
Some real talent and choreography, and then Watch Terrell and Cheryl.
Right,
just
Terrell is an executive producer of the show this year, along with Cheryl, and Jose is going to be there, Ryan, Val. I mean, just everybody's going to be hanging out. And stay tuned, it's going to be some really good stuff.
My daughter said to me, "Those are like the cool people that you work with."
Oh, the cool people.
All the cool people are on that.
Dad's
on that
not cool?
project.
Oh, you're not cool, Dad?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But all the cool
Okay.
people on that project. Oh, why, you should be on that project.
I'm ready to do the cuff challenge.
There you go. You can do
Yeah,
that. Now, you know,
We're talking about doing that, so.
yeah, exactly.
All right.
And you can be a part of the big show.
Right.
Scan the QR code. There it is. Look at that, right down on the screen there. And send us your best dance video. Could be part of this year's Countdown Chicago New Year's Eve celebration. Very important.
Now make sure you tune in to our New Year's Eve, Dick Clark's primetime New Year's Rockin' Eve. Ryan Seacrest, he is always there. 2023 starts 7 o'clock. Our news will begin at 9 o'clock, so don't forget, Robbie's going to be there 9 o'clock, New Year's Eve, then back to New York at 9:30. Or no, Robbie, you're
Actually,
not going to be there.
I won't be there New
Yeah,
Year's.
that's Christmas.
I'm the
Okay.
Christmas kid.
All right, then at 11:25, Countdown Chicago will ring in the new year here. Then we head back to New York at 12:30 or 12:10. The party continues. You will be stunned when you head back to New
It
York.
works with the party you're at.
Right.
So turn it on at least in
Right.
the background. We've done it
And-
many times.
And try to learn the dance moves with Terrell and Cheryl.
Good
you
luck
know,
on that.
And watch yourself. You might make it to our New Year's Eve.
Scan that QR code.
Spectacular.
Thanks, folks. We'll be right back.
Yeah, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas around here. Let's get back to the snow, the bitter weather that we are seeing on this Thursday.
That's right, cold. And you know it's important, of course, to dress in layers for the cold. How many do you do, though? The National Weather Service says for extreme cold, you should have 3 or more layers for your upper body, including 1 insulating layer, and of course, your coat. And don't forget the gloves and the hat, and wear a mask to cover your face, and on the bottom 2 layers and waterproof boots. And if I can just say something, because I know this from when I grew up, get wool socks.
Yeah, you've been saying that all hour.
Because it's always, because you know, your feet do get hot in the boot, sweats, then you get cold.
Okay.
But the wool wicks it away.
See?
Oh yeah.
And that's, you learned that too from reporting here in Chicago
Oh, yeah.
during all these winter
yeah.
months, all these
Absolutely.
years. So you just heard it from him. So get your wool socks.
Get your wool socks.
You know, so you can be comfortable in all the
Any wool
snow.
socks.
Because people are going to be out there shoveling, so you got to be careful though. Shoveling the snow, Larry, because is this the heavy kind of snow?
No, yeah.
No. Okay, yeah.
You can almost take the leaf blower and just blow it off your driveway because it's so fluffy.
Okay.
Such fluffy light snow, yeah.
Good, because my snowblower didn't start. I tried it this morning.
No, oh no, yeah.
I think
Well,
the
you
gas
do
was
have-
stale in it.
Yeah.
That happens.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
you do have your son. He can help out, maybe, right?
Yeah, if he wakes up.
Good luck on that one,
How many
right?
people out there watching, Larry? You'll get this one day when they come back from college and you
Right.
missed your kids so much, and all they want to do is sleep.
Well, that's what young people do a lot of times, though.
And see their friends.
And see their friends.
It's helping them grow. It's helping them learn.
More proof that I'm not in the cool group.
You're a great dad. You don't have to be cool dad, but be a
right.
great dad is more important. So
There is a good dad.
that's really good. Both of you guys are great dads. He's a girl dad.
Yeah, I got 2 girls. Love them to death. They're the best ever. Yeah.
You are.
They're not going to help me shovel though.
Nope.
Or
Make
leaf
some
blow.
snow angels, Larry.
What do you got? What do you got for us, Larry? Last word here.
You know, the snow is, the falling snow at least is tapering off, but there's still going to be plenty of blowing snow tonight all the way through the day tomorrow. But now through midnight, the snow's tapering off. In total, it wasn't much, so even the snowblower probably wouldn't have even worked, Ravi, because we got like 1 to 2 inches up across much of the area. Some spots maybe 3 or 4 inches, but really tough to measure because it's being blown around and creating little mini drifts. Overnight tonight, temperatures drop below 0, gusts to 45 miles per hour. So wind chills tonight, 25 to 35 below. We're almost there now. Tomorrow we'll see temperatures around 0 all day with gusts to 50 miles per hour. So wind chills still 20 to 30 below. It's down to 0 now at O'Hare, 2 at Midway. Still some snow falling here across the city. This is the last gasp of our snow, but flurries and light snow, especially along the lakefront, and more snow continues to fall in parts of northwest Indiana. But back to the west, you can see how things are calming down in terms of snowfall. Temperatures, though, are plunging on the backside of this Arctic front, which is now moving into parts of Ohio. We've got 4 below in Aurora, 6 below in DeKalb, 5 below in LaSalle, and single digits here across the city. Low single digits out in Gary as well. 2 at Wrigley Field, 1 right now in Little Village, 1 in Norridge. We're at 1 in Lake Forest, 2 below in Barrington, 2 below in Crystal Lake, 3 below in West Chicago, and 4 below in Aurora. Frankfort's at 2 below, and 3 right now in Hebron in northwest Indiana. Here are the wind chills, already down to 30 below out in Aurora and out towards DeKalb. Winds are getting gustier. Gusts right now up around 30 miles per hour, and that's still blowing around the snow. So even in areas where the snow has stopped, we still have visibility around 2 miles or less. So winter storm warnings continue until Saturday morning. Blizzard warning here for parts of Porter and LaPorte County here in Indiana. That's where the lake effect kicks in, and 4 to 7 inches of snow is possible. Higher totals up into parts of Berrien County and even parts of LaPorte County. So overall, the snow is winding down here this evening, but the blowing snow continues. You can see how the temperatures really drop off as we go through the night. And tomorrow, just do those layers, 3 or more layers. You're going to need them. Temperatures below 0 through the morning, low single digits in the afternoon, with strong winds gusting to 50 miles per hour during the midday hours. Tonight we'll get gusts up around 45, but they get even stronger during the day tomorrow. So here are wind chills at 7:30 tomorrow morning, 35 below, 25 below is what it'll feel like around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And then on Saturday, the winds let up a little bit, but those wind chills will still be below 10 below or greater for the Bears game. So just really, really cold temperatures as this surge of Arctic air spills all the way down into the southern plains. For us tonight, though, below 0 overnight tonight with wind chills much colder than that, blowing snow and very windy conditions. Tomorrow, windy and gusty with those gusts of 50 miles per hour, a high of 3. Quiet on Saturday. Christmas Day will be quiet, but still cold. Then we warm up next week, 40s by next Thursday. We're back in a moment.
Thanks so much for joining us, everybody. For Larry Mowry and, well, I'm sure
whoever else. I'm Robbie Bajwal. We'll see you back here at 10 o'clock over on ABC7. I'll go get my time.